Health is real, seek help, and the stigma. On the news this evening, Rivers Sole Administrator Ibas accuses officials of concealing 2024 spending records. President Tinubu to address Nigerians on Democracy Day. FCT Minister says planned coalition to unseat President Tinubu will fail. Process of restarting Port Harcourt refinery begins. And on the foreign scene, U.S. President Trump says U.S.-China deal is done. I'm Sam Chinedu, and the news continues after the break.
What is a conversation on radio without feedbacks from you, the listener? As your number one station for talk, we pride ourselves in not just having engaging conversations that will enlighten, inform, educate, and sometimes even entertain you. From social issues, politics, business, or the stories making the headlines, we make you the center of those conversations by getting your thoughts and opinions too. We would love to hear from you. Be a part of our conversations in Nigeria Info FM Port Harcourt and share your views via the following outlets. Call us live on 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007. Or drop a message for us at Nigeria Info.
The Rivers State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokate Ibas, has accused some government officials in the state of withholding vital information regarding the implementation of the 2024 budget under the suspended administration. Speaking today while addressing members of the House Special Committee overseeing the emergency rule in Rivers State, Ibas expressed concern over the lack of transparency and poor availability of records necessary for the preparation of 2025 budget. He said the existing documentation on the 2024 budget and its performance raises serious concerns and falls short of what is required for a credible and effective fiscal plan for the coming year. Responding, Chairman of the committee and Leader of the House, Professor Julius Ihonwebare, said the committee is committed to working with the administrator to restore stability, peace, growth, and development in Rivers State. Ihonwebare said Rivers State has always been a shining example of what is possible with good leadership, assuring that the committee will scrutinize the budget. Reacting to this, the spokesman of the Simplified Movement, Dr. Darlington Orji, says it is unfair for the sole administrator of Rivers State, retired Vice Admiral Ibokate Ibas, to claim that the 2024 state budget lacked transparency. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, Orji described the 2024 budget as the most transparent the state has seen since 2015. He noted that the budget process included a public hearing with active participation from ministries, agencies, stakeholders, and civil society organizations. He said the budget was fully implemented under the suspended governor, Siminalayi Fubara, with records to show for it.
It's quite unfortunate and laughable. The budget of 2024 was adjudged as have performed up to 99.9% in that fiscal year. And of course, people in Rivers State and beyond saw the developmental projects that were executed by His Excellency the Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Some commissions, some were still running. So it will be unfair for him to say so. So for us, we are not bothered to understand that he's speaking from the point of bias. Remember that he has visited some projects that were being carried out by His Excellency, and he confessed that the projects were running, monies were being paid. For example, the Rivers State National Assembly Complex, the Trans-Calabar Road, Ring Road.
On the claims by the sole administrator that some government officials are withholding vital information about the implementation of the 2024 budget, Dr. Darlington Orji said such remarks reflect a lack of inclusiveness in the current administration. He also said the comment further shows that the sole administrator has not carried key stakeholders along since taking office.
If he said that government officials are not releasing information that are necessary. It's either you are doing forceful, you are intimidating the people, or you do not understand the working of state government and functions. And that is why we are praying that God should touch the heart of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, to recall a God-given governor that all of us voted for to come and carry on to the development of Rivers State, because he understands our problem and our plight.
Moving on, President Bola Tinubu says even though the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is not yet a member of the APC, the party is open to receiving him whenever he decides to switch. Tinubu stated this when he commissioned some roads in Katampe district in Abuja today. He said with Wike, who is a member of the PDP, APC will continue to be in a joyous mood, while the party's rivals will continue to writhe in pain. Earlier, Wike said President Bola Tinubu's infrastructural development has killed coalition moves by the opposition. Recall that Wike backed President Tinubu during the election and was offered a ministerial appointment despite being a member of the PDP. President Bola Tinubu will address the nation at 7 a.m. on Thursday as part of activities to mark the 2025 Democracy Day celebration. Tinubu will also attend a joint session of the National Assembly at the National Assembly complex in Abuja later that afternoon. The Interministerial Committee on Democracy Day said this in a statement today. The statement, however, said there will be no Democracy Day parade. Later in the day, there will be a public lecture on Democracy Day celebration at the State House Conference Center, Abuja, by 4 p.m. Meanwhile, a Lagos-based analyst, Libros Oshoma, says the type of democracy currently being practiced in Nigeria can be described as true democracy. Mr. Oshoma, in an interview with correspondent Soibi Ruwaring, assessed the 2 years of democratic governance under President Bola Tinubu. He, however, expressed concern over the reason these policies have not produced the desired results.
And then 2 years of democracy, really. If I look back in this government, I say, yes, what are the things I like about this government? Because it's not all about just complaint. The two policies that Tinubu introduced, I can tell you, I will stand by those policies anytime, any day, because I know people in this country who were making money from Goodluck Jonathan's time and Buhari's time through forest racketeering and fuel subsidy. But the only challenge I have with Tinubu's administration is the fact that you introduce these policies and there are no cushion. You have more money now in the hand of governors, and then the government and governors are living as if we're an economic boom while the people are suffering.
On his part, a Bayelsa-based politician, Tony Adams, described Nigeria's democracy as one where citizens are compelled to comply with the directives of the ruling party, even against their will.
To my own opinion, we are not really practicing democracy in Nigeria. If the leaders we have, they are doing what they are supposed to do, by providing the basic social amenities for the people, I don't think any president or governor want to come and lure people to vote for him by all means. Right now, I want to make the whole Southern Nigeria to one party system by all means, which is not supposed to be so. Allow people to support who they like to support. That is not democracy.
Also, program coordinator of social action, Isaac Botti, spoke on the misery index of the nation under the current democratic governance in the last 2 years of President Bola Tinubu.
So what we have seen in the last 2 years is a massive deterioration in the standard of living of the people. Quality of life has dropped significantly across board. Nigerians are facing the worst form of hardship in the history of the country, with inflation tilting towards about 40% at the moment, and food inflation in the rate of 30-something%. So the quality of lives has dropped significantly. Nigerians are groaning in pains.
Still to come, process of restarting Port Harcourt refinery begins. Stay tuned. Ahead of Nigeria's Democracy Day, a financial analyst, Mr. Enebi Opalua, is asking the government to release updated data on the country's petrol consumption. He says this is key to understanding the true economic impact of petrol subsidy removal. Opalua, who heads the National Resource and Climate Governance Team at Budget, spoke in an interview with correspondent Constance Irele-Mega. He said since August 2023, no new figures have been published by the Petroleum Regulatory Authority.
By estimating volumes of in-country consumption, we may be able to make some estimates. The NMDPRA has refused to publish volume of in-country consumption since August 2023. The latest data we can find is something around the 20th of August 2023. We understand that imports have reduced drastically, but we don't have the hard numbers to back it. But we do know that the country is depending significantly on domestic production. The regulators ought to do more in ensuring that these data points are published and allow us to do our bit and our part.
Opalua also noted that while the economy has shown growth, the cost of living remains high and the government's palliatives are not enough.
Our social protection mechanisms should have been much more stronger, or should have been deployed more effectively to ensure that Nigerians didn't feel the brunt of the petrol subsidy removal as much as we did. But we can actually see supply has improved. Generally, cost of petrol is still relatively high compared to before. Cost of living is still high. Inflation is still high. It only improved by about 8% over the last month based on the latest data from the NBS, but the inflation is still quite high and Nigerians are still feeling the heat.
In another development, the process of restarting the Port Harcourt refinery kicked off today. The National Public Relations Officer of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, Joseph Obele, made this known while speaking on Nigeria Info's Talking Figures show.
Okay, we have two refineries in Alete Lemeya in Rivers State. So as we speak today, they were done fixing it yesterday, and they have commenced the process of owning it. The plant is steaming right now as we speak, and the process of owning it takes like 4 or 5 days. So we, the host community and the stakeholder, the voice, National Voice of Oil and Gas in Nigeria, National PRO as I am, we want to commend them.
Recall that on the 24th of May, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, announced that the Port Harcourt refinery will be shut down for 30 days for planned maintenance and sustainability assessment. In the meantime, traders at the Rumomasi morning market are now recounting their loss after fire destroyed goods and properties worth millions of naira in the area. Some of them told our correspondents that no item was recovered after fire engulfed a section of the market housing about 20 lock-up shops. Although there were no casualties, some traders linked the fire outbreak to an electric spark.
The fire was heavy. To the extent that the fire service came, almost 6 of them. They tried to help. If not so, the whole places would have burned. Things that burned here, we cannot count it. Millions has gone. Shops burned down.
People don't bring any pin outside.
Island is electrical fault. I am not the direct victim, but he's spending me as he's spending them because I'm in the same market with them. The shop that affected, the man selling gold watch, eyeglasses and all those things. Rice woman, attachments, the woman with the husband that is selling clothes and other things.
Thank God the fire service came on time, and thank God the fire did not come late in the night. That was why it was arrested as quick as possible. Government should have that human.
Appealing to the government for compensation and reconstruction of the market, commended the fire service for their swift responses in containing the fire outbreak. The affected area has now been cordoned off. Elsewhere, a tanker laden with a petroleum product has fallen and exploded on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The Ogun State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps confirmed this to newsmen today. The Education Officer of the Sector Command, Florence Okwe, said that the rescue team from the FRSC and the fire service were on ground, but could not confirm any casualties. The explosion also affected some vehicles close to the falling tanker. Away from that, the River State Police Command has confirmed the rescue of a 13-year-old girl who was kidnapped in Umwebule community on the 5th of June. The spokesperson of the command, SP Grace Iringekoko, said the victim was found unhurt in a fenced forest in Umwechem, Eche local government area, by its C4I operatives. SP Iringekoko said the rescue followed the arrest of a 24-year-old female suspect from Ibueche, who was linked to SIM cards used in the 2 million naira ransom demand. She said the suspect earlier claimed her phone was stolen on the 5th of June. She said further investigation led to the arrest of the principal suspect, a 36-year-old Chizoba Andrew Obi. According to the statement, the exhibit recovered from him includes a locally made pistol and one live cartridge. She said during interrogation, the suspect reportedly confessed to being a serial kidnapper and leader of a four-man gang. She said the suspect later led police operatives to the forest to recover the gang's weapons, but the other gang members, on sighting the police, opened fire, resulting in a shootout. SP Ringekoko said the arrested suspect attempted to escape, but was caught in a crossfire and sustained gunshot wounds and later died at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. SP Ringekoko said the investigations are ongoing, with efforts underway to arrest the remaining gang members and recover more weapons. Some residents of Cornerstone Junction along the Ozuoba-Choba Road have raised concern over the alarming level of flash floods experienced in the area during rainfall. Speaking in an interview, they appealed to the River State government to urgently expand the drainage system and repair the bad road. The residents also shared how the flooding disrupts their daily activities.
If rain fall, water dey full here. Cornerstone Junction will not dey fit come out. The water dey plenty well. May government help us so that we, where they say something here, we go fit they come out, they say, they find our belly.
If the water full, it take like over 4 hours or 5 hours before the water will dry. If they cut our food, the water will pack full everywhere.
Let them expand the gutter so the DT can go out.
When rain fall like this, flood everywhere. Motor, if you reach there for where we say, if motor enter the water, motor they spoil inside water, wakike they spoil. You know they fit. Even you use leg safe, you go fold your trouser, reach your nail before you feel walk inside the water. Even some people shop with water they enter. There's no drainage. The drainage is blocked. So when water full the drainage, there's no way again. Rather the water will fill the road.
On the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump says the U.S.-China trade deal is done. President Trump said this today, hours after negotiators from Washington and Beijing agreed on a framework to get a fragile trade truce back on track and remove Chinese export restrictions on rare earth minerals and other critical industrial components. Trump took to his social media platform to offer some of the first details, saying full magnets and any other necessary rare earths will be supplied upfront by China, and the U.S. will provide to China what was agreed to, including Chinese students using U.S. colleges and universities. He also said the U.S. is getting a total of 55% tariffs, while China is getting 10%. On the news this evening, you heard the River State Sole Administrator Ibas has accused officials of concealing 2024 spending records. President Tinubu will address Nigerians on Democracy Day. FCT Minister says the planned coalition to unseat President Tinubu will fail. The process of restarting the Port Harcourt refinery has begun. And on the foreign scene, U.S. President Trump says the U.S.-China deal is done. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.